Hi guys, this is Klazart bringing another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on the MSL Group E Game 1 matchup between Nada and Lucifer. Wow, what a big matchup. I've been watching Nada play recently, and he's certainly looking impressive. He's looking sharp, he's looking on form, and he's not making too many mistakes, and I'm really hopeful that we might see him in Resurgence. It was unfortunate to see both him and Savior in the same group and having to see Savior go out of it, but the positive that I took from that was seeing some impressive performances from Nada, and I hope he can pull out another one here. They are playing on Othello. I have to say I'm not too familiar with Lucifer. I think he's one of the new players to come out and qualify for the MSL this season, so I'm not terribly familiar with him. Just for starters, Lucifer starting up at the 7 o'clock base playing Protoss in white, Nada at the 1 o'clock base playing Terran in purple, and this is being played on Othello, which is one of the new maps. It's interesting, this map. The statistics don't really favor Terran, but it's a little bit early to tell. It's 3-1 Protoss versus Terran on this map thus far, but as I said, it is fairly early in the day to predict what it would turn out to be, and obviously a lot depends on the individual players involved, and hopefully Nada can pull out the stops and pull out the win here. At the same time, I'm excited to see a new young Protoss player emerge. Protoss really have been lacking a really emphatic and a really good and great player to come out and dominate the scene ever since Bisu was ripped apart of late by players like Jaedong. Looks like Gateway going down first for Lucifer, and he's sending his probe straight away out to scout after his first pylon. Nada starting up supply depot. Othello's an interesting map because you've got the expansions in the middle, which are difficult to hold, and there's lots of open space, and yet it's a symmetrical and fairly balanced map. So I think for that reason it'll probably turn out to be an interesting game, and a lot of Korean girls hiding their faces again, although there's a couple there that look like they probably don't need to. Sorry, don't mean to be mean. Anyway, Nada putting down the racks and the extractor. Lucifer's still scouting. He's scouting in a clockwise direction, so scouting upwards at the 11 o'clock base first. So he hasn't found Nada yet. Meanwhile, he's taken his assimilator and started up Cybernetic Score. So it'll be interesting to see from here whether he decides to tech ahead or whether he decides to put that expansion down first. Personally, I think it's a good idea for Protoss players, especially versus a prolific player such as Nada. You don't want to leave him hanging, and the fact that Lucifer is scouting looks like he might be hoping to apply a little bit of pressure on at least with a couple of Dragoons or something early on, because he sent a second probe out. He doesn't want to get caught off guard by his opponent, and that's a clever play. But he's got that second probe sitting in the middle of the map, and that's an interesting position to have that probe sitting, because he's now scouted Nada's base, but he's still got that probe sitting in, so it'll be interesting whether he's going to try and do some sort of proxy build there. He's hidden it just in the middle of the map. Nada, meanwhile, is scouting with his SCV in the clockwise direction as well. He scouted the base at the bottom right corner of the map, but has not found Lucifer yet. He's not sure what Lucifer is doing. So far, both players with very similar builds. It'll be interesting to see exactly what build the Protoss player goes for. He's got that one extra probe hidden out there, and I'm just wondering what he's planning on doing. That I have a feeling he's going to try and do some sort of a proxy build here. We might see maybe a proxy robo bay or something, a hidden robotics facility to catch Nada off guard, and he might be timing it perfectly here. Nada's SCV is now arriving in Lucifer's base, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He had that probe hidden there, and he's going to bring that probe up at the 3 o'clock base, and he's going to, I have a feeling he's going to build a robo bay here. He's going to obviously put the pylon down first, and he's going to try and catch Nada off guard with possibly a reaver drop from coming in from the south, which Nada might not anticipate, which will obviously buy him some time. So pylon going down for Lucifer. It'll be interesting to see exactly what strategy he goes for from here on in, and how well or not Nada copes through this. And this is one of the interesting features of the map, that clever players can exploit these sort of positions, and it's not a position that Nada would be likely to scout, although Nada is drifting his barracks southwards in that direction, and maybe Nada might be positioned that barracks just in case, just in anticipation of his opponent flying a shuttle through that direction in the future, and that might give him a little bit of an advance warning if he chose to do that. Lucifer chasing Nada's SCV with the probe, trying to take it out, and it looks like he's going to finally kill it. So that SCV goes out, so Nada's going to lose the scout, and he's not going to be aware of what his opponent is doing. He's not going to have any inkling that his opponent, if he was scouting his opponent and saw that there were no tech buildings really in the opponent's main, and nothing further being built, it's set to do with Atom going up, so we might actually be seeing a potential for a DT drop here, but he doesn't seem to really have the infrastructure up and going for that, although he has positioned that pylon south of Nada's main. And Nada going for the command center is going to leave himself quite vulnerable here, because he's not going to have a lot of defenses in place for the drop coming in, and we are indeed seeing a gateway down. So now you see the infrastructure going for a DT, and he might actually not be going for the DT drop. He's actually going for a DT rush straight away. He's putting on Templar Archives, and because of the proximity where he's able to hide those gateways at the 3 o'clock position, he might be able to catch Nada completely off guard with a short distance into Nada's base. He's now got a couple of Dragoons in as well, MSL, so he's going to keep Nada busy and keep him pinned down while he gets those DTs out. I don't think Nada's going to have anything to detect. I think Nada's going to be in trouble here. We saw Nada undone in game 1 of his OSL group by a DT rush, not able to cope with it. I think that was a drop on that occasion, but Nada didn't have anything to cope with it, didn't have detection in time, and did not anticipate it, and paid the price for it. And this time again, once he lost his SCV, he had no idea what his opponent's tech was, and I think it is a very careless game to play. It is a very risky game to play from Nada's point of view. The 2 gateways are up. The Templar Archive should be up any second now. Nada's still halfway through building the engineering bay. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get a turret up in time to stop those proxy gateways, and we might see Lucifer taking game 1 here against Nada. Nada researching away in his machine shop. I think he's probably researching siege tech. If it's just a question of whether or not Nada can get anything up in time, even if he can, I'm not sure if it's going to be enough, because we've got about 3 or 4 Dragoons that Lucifer's going to have in support of those DTs. Nada definitely does not have a scan up. We're just waiting for a DT's drop. This is going to come down right to the wire. This is going to be very close. Nada has now got siege mode up. He's floating that command center over. He's getting the turrets up. Nada's actually getting the turrets up, so Nada might be okay here, but the problem is going to be the DTs are now on their way, and this is going to be very, very close. Nada now pushing forward. That turret is almost up. If he can get that turret up in time, this is going to be absolutely critical here. Lucifer trying to focus that turret down. Nada is repairing with 1 SCV. He needs to get a couple more SCVs in. He gets the second SCV in to repair it, but it's not going to be enough. He's not able to get the second SCV. Nada tried to get a second, and this is going to be GG. Nada's going to go down here. The DTs are in, and there is now no hope for Nada. 2 DTs in his main. He does have a turret, but he's expending resources in that expansion. He's now lost 2 of his siege tanks. He's trying to build another turret out at his National Expo, but I don't think that's going to go up. He's managed to get 1 of his siege tanks alive, and another siege tank is popped out for him, but he doesn't have any ground units. Meanwhile, SCVs are being slaughtered at the base, and this just came down right to the... It was so close, seconds in it, seconds, and unfortunately the positioning of that turret was such that Nada was unable to get the second SCV into repair. Had he been able to get the second, he tried to get the second SCV, but you could see the SCV with its AI pathing not able to get into the range of the turret to repair it. Now Lucifer going in for the kill, not afraid of the turrets anymore. He's got 3 DTs. He picks off the 2 siege tanks, and Nada's resistance is going to crumble from here on. He's got 4 DTs in there now. Continue to pump those DTs out from the 2 proxy gateways, and you can see why this map gives Protoss players so much opportunity against the Terran player, and Nada unfortunately on that occasion being undone. So a lot of credit to Lucifer. It is a DT rush at the end of the day, but it's a well-planned rush. He did everything right. He got his probe in position, used his scouting position to maximum advantage. The fact that he scouted earlier and scouted first, had that second probe hidden in the middle of the map, and I'm not sure if he planned on doing this all along or whether he adapted to this. It seems to obviously have been a build that he's practiced, but I'm sure that he would have kept his options open had he found that he was not able to get that proxy gateway hidden in. But Nada undone by a great build, and the distance of the proxy gateways is what allowed Lucifer again. Nada finally GG's, but nothing really he could do there once he lost that turret. It came really, really close. I think Nada has to shoulder some of the blame for not scouting, but you've got to give a lot of player to Lucifer for his fresh and aggressive style of play, and his timing. The timing of his attack was perfect, just perfect. Nada had that first turret just barely up, but unfortunately couldn't keep it up. Had that turret survived, Nada would have been okay, but unfortunately he was caught at the perfect point by his opponent, and unfortunately for Nada, his build played right into Lucifer's hand, going for the CC first, 1 fact into CC build, playing right into Lucifer's hand, and really I think as a Terran player you cannot afford to not scout at all. Once that first SCV went down, I suppose the problem for Nada obviously was that there would have been Dragoons out on